NDTV is on a campaign trail across western parts of Uttar Pradesh, and we are with the MP of Pilibhit, Varun Gandhi. Sir, thank you so much for talking to us. What are the key issues that you're raising in this part of the constituency, and do you think that the BJP will be able to improve its tally here?
Here they've always done fairly well, so it's not a question of improving it that substantially, but there will be numeric improvements. The issues for me and for most of these people are two. One is the work that I've done as an MP in the last 2.5 years, which is basically what I've spoken about in my speeches. And the second is, honestly, with most of these people, they've known me since I was about 6 or 7. So they treat me more like a son or a brother than a politician. So I have a sort of easy rapport with them, and it's just a question of dealing with the problems, the everyday problems. These are MLA elections, they're not national elections. So therefore the problems will be localized and the solutions also have to be engineered locally. So therefore we just look at new ways to deal with old problems, because the problems are perennial.
We've been seeing, the kind of campaigning that you've been doing through the past 4 or 5 speeches that I've covered over here. There was a certain signature style which Varun Gandhi had in 2009 elections. We would see you raising the slogan of Jai Shri Ram. It's not there anymore. Have you mellowed down a bit from that Varun Gandhi that you were to what you are now?
Well, I wasn't really, I'll tell you what the thing is. It is very easy for the media or for anybody to box people in a particular in a particular stereotype. And so what happens is that when you look at people closely, you understand that the truth is often much more complicated and much more layered than looking at things in a certain perspective in one color. And as far as raising the slogan of Jai Shri Ram, I think you're talking about 1 or 2 speeches. I mean, I'll give you a small example. Since that time, of course, at that time things were so strange that I couldn't really get in a word edgeways. But the courts have found completely in my favor. They have ruled that all those speeches and CDs were doctored. So I really have proved my point, which is that that kind of stereotype was false and motivated, and it was put through by, on record, this is not my hypothesis, by the candidate opposing me. So the fact is that's motive. So the point is that, I think that over time, I don't know about mellowing. I think mellowing is a very good word, but I think it doesn't describe the journey of a human being accurately. I think the truth of the matter is that when you go through a lot in life, both good and bad, it tends to expand your heart. Right. And when your heart expands, then more goodness happens to you, and you put forth more goodness in the universe. I mean, sorry to sound like Deepak Chopra or something, but the fact is that I just feel happier as a human being, and I feel more settled, and I feel, more stable, and I just think that there's so much good work to be done, and that's why I just wanted to this time have a very low-profile campaign, and I specifically told the BJP leadership because they put a lot of pressure on me to campaign across the state and stuff, and to be honest, they were pretty good about accommodating a lot of my people in UP for tickets and stuff. But this time I really wanted to just be a normal MP, a first-time young MP. I didn't want to lead the campaign in the state or anything, and I made that clear to the national president about 5 months back.
We've seen that there are more than 1 crore new young voters that are taking part in these elections, that are exercising their right of franchise in these elections. The Congress has your cousin leading the entire campaign. The Samajwadi Party has a young face in the name of Akhilesh Yadav who's leading the campaign. The BSP perhaps doesn't need the vote of the youth, which is why you don't have a youthful projection. But everybody perhaps in the party was hoping that you would be the youth face of the party in these elections. Has the BJP missed the bus as far as tapping on the youth vote in these elections is concerned?
I'll tell you.
By not projecting you.
See, the thing is that both Rahul ji and Akhilesh ji are 10 years elder to me. So there's a age gap. You know, I'm 31, one is 40, one is 41. So the fact is that at the end of the day, you know, there is time for me. And I was very conscious after 2009 not to use that sort of image that was created by the media to my advantage, because I was not happy with it, to be honest with you, and I just wanted to go a different way. And the only way I could do it was to be silent, because silence creates its own solutions. And so I chose for 2 years to do different things, you know, to speak in parliament on different issues, on anti-corruption, to go on Twitter, to do other things which are interesting to me as a young person. I probably have a book coming out next year. So, you know, so I've been exploring parts of myself that perhaps I didn't do earlier. And that has made me very happy. Regarding this election, I would like to say that, you know, for me, fighting elections or winning elections is one part of the political process. The other part of it is understanding it. Because it would be very arrogant to say at 31 that, oh, I know everything about everything. You know, so what I feel is that UP is a huge state. And I have toured UP, you attended a couple of my rallies. So I think I have reached out to a lot of people. Perhaps the time had not come this time for me to lead the campaign in the way that certain people spoke to me about earlier. But I mean, there's always the next election. And remember that even 5 years from now, I'll only be 36 years old. And, you know, then there's the Lok Sabha election, there are other elections, there are organizational responsibilities. When I was 24, I was offered the same position that I took when I was 29. But I refused it. And the reason is because I said, I first want to prove myself by winning an election. And by the grace of all these people, I won by 3 lakhs. So then I had nothing to prove anymore. So what I would like to do is to really let my, you know, the work I've done speak for me. And I mean, I can't make any bold claims like we're sweeping this region or anything like that. But I think if I were to speak, you know, moderately, I think that out of the 4 seats in this constituency, we can probably swing 3.
The NDTV news app had redefined the entire genre. Now another market beater. It's already hit #1.
NDTV Profit, India's #1 finance app. Download free at ndtvprofit.com/apps. Live stream of NDTV Profit, market news and your easy to manage portfolio. Download now ndtvprofit.com/apps.